And I'm live. Hey, this is Real Kirk. My name is Patrick. Let's get right into this. Hoping to keep this video a little bit shorter. Because I just got a feeling bottom of the deck is the Seven of Wands. Okay. Triumphance. Got a feeling to pull for the Zodiac. So I'm going to do the Major Minor Court. I'm using the Pride Tarot because we're in Libra season. Ooh, King of Pentacles too. And even though it's heavily coded to the LGBTQIA plus experience, it is the most like human deck I have. It's the most, I feel like, experiential day-to-day real life. It's my most like real life deck, I feel. Maybe it's because of my own LGBTQIA plus experience, but it ain't gotta be all of that. Obvi. And there's a few things I wanted to talk about. I'm gonna give this a few shuffles. Who is this? Frida Kahlo, 8 of Wands, Knight of Swords, King of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. Ooh, snap, okay. This is interesting because the 8 of Wands is one of the fastest cards in the deck. One of the fastest energies in the deck. And the Knight of Swords in this deck is standing still. Like, standing so still that, like, even her horse is confused. Like, hello? Aren't we supposed to be, like, one of the fastest knights? And so it feels like there was some emotional fear of one's own emotions, scorpionic energy, Piscean energy. This is actually Mars in Pisces. Mars is the decan ruler of the third decan of Pisces. And I was actually going to talk about the Mercury retrograde pre-shadow. And then there's the Scorpio energy. Mercury's in its pre-shadow. It's going to retrograde in Scorpio here in a few weeks, I believe. I don't remember the date. And it's already come for me, honestly. It came for me last night, real quick. And if there's anything I could say about what this might be, and again, this is from my own personal experience. Excuse me. I feel like Mercury in its pre-shadow, when it entered its pre-shadow, it was opposing fairly directly Mars in retrograde, and it's going to go into Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars, and then retrograde back into Libra, back into the position where it opposed Mars the first time. And it feels like this energy of us wanting to, especially in the sector of relationships, especially in the sector of our deep desires, wanting to go back into the past, really fiery. And it's almost like, at least in my case, it was almost, okay, I ain't gonna blame everything on the retrogrades or the planets, but it's almost like what they're, and again, that was the King of Cups with the 10 of Cups as the blockage to that horse. I'll put that in with the majors. Yeah. It's almost like we're gonna have less inhibition this time. It's almost this energy of like, I'm going to act on the thing that I wish I would have done in the past, and with a person from the past or in a situation from the past. And there's going to be that because Saturn, the influence of Saturn, I guess Saturn still is in Capricorn right now. It isn't even direct yet. So Saturn, I guess, also plays a part in here. And it's squaring both of those. Is there anything in Cancer? I don't think so. Anyway, let me keep going because this ain't an astrology video. Aces are going in with the minors because pages will hold the element. And I'm just going to see what Libra season has coming up. But there is that moment, since we still have the energy of Saturn right now, that's like, is this something that actually gets me like where I want to be? Is this something that I actually want? Is this something that I still want? Yeah, I got these mixed up. I was like, wait, I thought I put the majors here. Why did I start putting court cards on top of everything? Hello? Yeah, I started it off right, and then like after the first one, I started mixing it up. These are the courts first, and then the majors. Okay, there we go. Now everything is right in the world. So again, it's this energy of like, with less inhibition, going back to a situation, a scenario from the past, maybe one that we never acted out on, or it stopped for some reason, and maybe instead of some reason it stopped, it's like it stopped for a reason. Maybe not. I don't know. It was just really interesting. And then I was like, before I went to sleep, I was like, oh, I bet Mercury has entered its pre-shadow, hasn't it? And then I wake up and I check the degrees. I'm like, yep, it did. She almost got me. She almost got me. I messed up again. I'm going to have to check these when I'm done. Because usually I do the majors first. And what else? I guess that's it. I think I was going to talk about something else. I was sitting out on the porch today, and it sounded like something was missing outside. And I never quite figured out what. But TMI, I was in the restroom earlier before I decided to come back here and do this. And I remembered feeling that something was missing. And I was already thinking that there's something missing in, oh my gosh, in astrology and tarot and in a lot of things, I feel like. And it's something that, at least from what I know, Eight of Pentacles and Eight of Cups together, followed by death and the world. Oof, Bill. We're about to open all of that right back up, coming up on top of the Lovers. I feel like something that's missing more modernly, in some ways, not in every way, it's us and how we fit into the bigger picture, right? In tarot, there is no major arcana card that corresponds to the planet Earth. And in astrology, like, we don't look at, some people do, and especially depending on which astrological system you follow, but there's like not as much importance on where the planet Earth is and like what kind of influence or impact that might have. And I just thought it was interesting that it's like almost like we're absent. We look at the heavens and we do look at the ground beneath us, sure. I think I put the title card over here, so I'll put this over here. Actually, yeah, that makes sense. And I don't know if it means anything. Four of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Four of Cups. 4, 4, 4. Oh, snap. Coming after the Six of Swords, too. This is interesting because on one side is someone who's holding on tightly to something. On the other side is a situation that lost its spark a long time ago. But in the middle is this fire. Four of Pentacles, Four of Wands, Four of Cups. And again, maybe, I don't know. I'm telling folks, I ain't going to say I narrowly avoided a situation last night. But I know it ultimately doesn't. It's like, because part of me was like, I could just enjoy the moment for what it is. And I was like, yeah, and that's fair and that's valid. But then another part of me was like, haven't I already learned this lesson before? Like, did I not literally just a year ago, was I not literally learning this same lesson? It's not worth it. And it came back. I caught myself though. And again, I wouldn't have felt a certain type of way because, I mean, I'm a grown man. Other person was a grown man. We're both consenting, and it's not like it was anything that it wasn't. But still, I'm like, you know what? For me and for what I want, ooh, Five of Pentacles. Yeah, any of this type of energy ain't reason enough for me to try to start whatever. And after, ooh, Eight of Wands, Eight of Pentacles. Something's coming up with the doubles. After the situation was diffused, we were both like, yeah, that was, it was fun. But let's not. Let's maintain what we have. And also, like, I'm the type of person who is primarily run off of emotional attraction. Like, I experience physical attraction, but I don't really hold too much weight into it. It's just like money, right? Like, you can get money anywhere. There are some things in life that actually matter to me. And the physical and the appearance is not important to me. I always go deeper, but man, I don't know. Something about Mars retrograde opposing Mercury as it's entering its pre-shadow, and then Saturn still up there. Like, is this something that actually goes towards your future? And that's not how I want to start a relationship either, personally. But yeah, so something's missing. I think. I don't know. It just sounded like something was missing outside, and it's been. I don't know. I've been really enjoying sitting on the porch lately and just like listening to nature and waiting for the wind to blow and admiring the trees. Usually I admire King of Wands, Leo energy. Usually I admire the left tree more than I do the right tree, but I've been gravitating towards the right tree lately. And I was listening to a video as I was sitting outside and the video was over. And I was like, oh, it sounds like there's something interesting going on outside. So I just took out my headphones and sat there for a minute. And then it was like there was this silence in between the noise. That was really weird. I don't know. So let's get right into this. I did not prepare, so I'm going to type this up real quick so I can do my timestamps. Okay. So I can do my timestamps. And then we can get into this. Hopefully this won't be as long. I will preface this by saying my intention is to not necessarily go as deep as we're in Libra season. Justice, true justice, real justice understands that some things are on a case-by-case basis and rulings are not flat, static, or dynamic because there are subtleties and different things that need to be accounted for. And so it's all going to come to us basically in the way that we have it coming back to us. Right? It's justice. It's your just desserts. It's what you deserve. It's what you've earned. So more or less, we should have a fairly solid feeling. But Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I didn't even put fire. Then we go air. And it's Gemini, Libra. Happy birthday, Libras, Aquarius. I actually talked to my Libra friend last night. It was a really, really good conversation. I'm glad he called me. I had quite a few really good conversations yesterday, though, honestly. And I haven't really been talking to a whole bunch of people quite frequently lately, so it was really nice. All of them enriching. Even the one with the... It was I think my freshman or sophomore year of high school, so over a decade ago, there was this one dude who I had a crush on, and there was almost something it'll be 5 years in a few months, because it was Christmas 2015. It was the night of Christmas 2015. And Taurus, 1 second, Virgo, Capricorn. And we decided to like talk or whatever. It didn't have enough communication for me. I was like, I can't be with somebody that don't talk. Communication is important to me. And so that didn't really go anywhere. And then Valentine's Day came and I forgot that we were kind of sort of talking. Part of me forgot. Part of me wasn't really into it. It's like there was an initial excitement because I told him that I had a crush on him in high school. Like freshman, sophomore year. It was Latin club of all things. I took Latin all 4 years of high school. But I don't know, we like reconnected last night, and like I said, like my inhibitions were gone completely out the window, and then the wisdom came in. The inhibitions didn't come back, but the wisdom kicked in. Saturn kicked in my chart and was like, you sure this is something you want to do, little man? I was like, yeah, Saturn, you're right, this ain't it. Okay, so let me get my little bell out so I can cleanse all of this. I haven't really been using this too much. Partially because I don't really have anywhere to just sit stuff and store stuff right now. And so I'll keep putting it back in its packaging to protect it. And I don't want to keep putting it out and putting it in and taking it out. So actually we'll put this here. Yeah, that's right. I've heard the story over and over again. Gee, it's what to finally meet your other friends. Okay. I've had other friends stuck in my head, so. Oh, y'all can't even see it. Okay. That one was extremely eager to cooperate. And it depends. Sometimes it works a little better than other times. Why do I feel like this is like, I don't know. Sometimes it works a little better than other times. That one was, it was really, really easy. It was really easy. And it picked up quick, like it amplified quick as well. Sometimes I have to go around a few times before it really starts to get louder, but I don't like this energy. I don't like how easy it was for me to almost do something that is not in alignment with where I am right now. And again, if it would have happened, it would have happened. But it's just me knowing what I want and where I want to go. Anyway, I feel like I should do another one, but I feel like this is like I was saying that Libra season or whatever, it's gonna feel like we're all gonna get these opportunities, and what determines on how far we go is how much we've healed and how dedicated we are to actually going to where we want to be. If we've been showing up and doing the work, it's going to be easier to claim the most rewards. And if we haven't been, it's going to be easier to enter situations that don't serve us or to reject the things that are for us. And it's almost like this boundless Seven of Cups seed type of energy. Almost. Maybe I should look at the. No, it's fine. Well, I'll just look at the transits right now to see what else we have sort of cooking with Mercury in its pre-retrograde shadow. So, Mars is 26 degrees Aries. We have Uranus still 10 degrees Taurus. North Node 23 degrees Gemini. Venus is 20 degrees Leo. Mercury is 27 degrees Libra. The Sun is 2 degrees Libra. So that is a 1 degree. Yeah, it's pretty much a whole degree orb of opposition between Mercury and Mars. Mars retrograde, Mercury in its pre-retrograde shadow. And it's a 6 degree orb of a trine between Mars and Venus with a 7 degree orb. That's like a degree difference. 7 degrees orb between Venus in Leo and Mercury in Libra. Now, I think it entered at 25 degrees. So it would have been like 5 degrees roughly from sextiling Venus and still 1 degree from opposing Mars. We also have South Node Sagittarius 23 degrees. So, so Mercury in its pre-shadow was sextiling both Venus at 20 degrees and the South Node Sagittarius 23 degrees. South Node is probably stuff we shouldn't be doing. Trining the North Node by 2 degrees. Interesting. The moon is in Capricorn now. We have Jupiter 17 degrees Capricorn, Pluto 22 degrees Capricorn, Saturn 25 degrees Capricorn. Pluto and Saturn are still retrograde. So the tightest squares, it's like it was pretty much a direct square to Saturn when it entered its pre-retrograde shadow, and it's 3 degrees away from Pluto. Neptune is 19 degrees Pisces. And so it's actually going to retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio really being those like those things that lie dormant beneath us. Could be the space of like hidden desires and things that we never like really acted out on or whatever, but we always kind of sort of fantasized about. Mars retrograde, maybe that's a release of inhibition. I don't know. And it's like Saturn. This is a you thing. It's about choices. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it was just an experience I had last night, but I caught myself real quick. Okay, so let's get into this because this ain't about me. We're starting with the Page of Pentacles. So for all of the Earth signs, I'm gonna say we're starting here. Earth. 20:40. Earth signs. Let's see where y'all at. Are y'all getting the title card? Ooh, the Star. Hope for humanity. Yes. And the Five of Pentacles. Okay. So, that's interesting because the Five of Pentacles actually came out when I was shuffling, didn't it? So for Earth signs, we have the Star and the Five of Pentacles. This is kind of sort of what I was just saying. It seems like... Not really. It seems like there are things that we're hoping for. Oops, sorry. Things that we've been hoping for and wishing for in a space of lack. And the earth is naturally abundant, but there's something very unnatural about the condition of the earth right now. And it's almost like this star is actually, and it's almost calling to a feeling I got on the earlier today. It's like the light of the star is actually purifying and realigning the planet. It's bringing things back into alignment. I think it's also going to be important for us to remember because Mercury is going to retrograde, I believe, this season. It might be next season, but I believe it'll happen in this season. It's going to be important for us to... There we go. It's going to be important for us to realize that we are not who we used to be and where we used to be. The things that we wished for in the past may no longer currently serve us. And we can get it or hold on to it just to say that we have it or whatever. We can act out those old dreams and fantasies, or we could bypass those and redirect that towards something that we actually want now to get us towards tomorrow. It's about thinking ahead to the future and maybe not even necessarily in the space that you're in right now with that Five of Pentacles. It's like, don't make lack-based decisions. There you go. So, let's keep it moving. Oh, Taurus. Nice. Okay. King of Pentacles. Let's see what's up with Taurus. Call me out. Or not. 23:7. So, Taurus, let's see what we got for you in this Libra season. Y'all share Venus, right? Taurus and Libra, you share Venus. You're the feminine side of Venus. Libra is the masculine side of Venus. Taurus has the title card. I don't know why I thought Earth signs were going to get it. Taurus got it. I was like, are Earth signs going to get the title card? And Earth sign got it. The title card is the Mind Your Business card. And then we have the Ace of Cups. So, the Ace of Cups and the Mind Your Business card. This is interesting, Taurus. I don't know what to say about this, honestly. I would say whatever happens in Libra season, remember who you are and what you're really about. Stay true to your heart and make decisions and proceed according to your heart and not any other organ that may try to make some decisions for you. It could be your brain or it can be your head if you're a male, or it can be I don't know, the tail if you're female. I don't know. But it's almost like things are about to get deeper than you imagine. Connections are about to heighten. Sensitivities are going to increase because of the heart. And the part of Taurus that you need to stay in, it's like stay in that high refined energy. Stay true to what is you. You don't necessarily have to be super rigid, because I think with the Ace of Cups and the title card, you are going to have to flow a little bit in a new direction. But this new direction is going to align with you. So It's almost like before the bull was either lazing in the grass or it was charging. Oh my gosh. OBS is doing that green, yellow, red thing again. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna just keep going. Whatever's lost is lost. It's not meant to be heard. Um, so it's almost like in the past there was this lazy mode and then there was this active mode, but we're sort of finding this in between. And it's a steady progression. I don't know. I mean, Taurus, you got the title card. So the sky is literally the limit. Spirit, trust in the relationship that you've cultivated with spirit, and trust in the knowing of who you are, deeper than what you've experienced and what you've come to believe. Because that's going to be the only thing getting you through this, Taurus. I don't know. I can't tell you anything. I can't see it. It's not for me to know. Maybe it's because I'm a Taurus and I'm not supposed to know myself, which I could see. Next is fire signs. Okay. Is Aries going to come out next so I can get all of my energy out of the way? Fire signs. Let's see where y'all at. 25:58. Fire signs. Welcome. Libra season. Let's go. Oh, justice. Okay. So this is that Mars is in Aries. The sun is going to be opposing Mars as Aries. As the sun moves forward, it's going to oppose Mars as Mars moves back. So this is interesting because it's going to be a standoff between our drive and our ego. And our ego is going to be what's moving forward. And so there's almost this energy with the Ten of Cups. Oh, snap. Okay, fire signs. All right, I'm claiming my Venus today. And my Taurus. Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups. Thank you. Anyway, this ain't about me. Sorry. This is going to be really important because I feel like for fire signs, the energy can be really impulsive. And there's this, not a need, but it's asking you to really follow your heart and to align with what it is that truly fulfills you. Not in a carnal way, not in an immediate satisfaction way. With justice, it's asking fire signs to like actually think ahead. Now, Sagittarius is Jupiterian. It's the philosopher, the sage, the wise one. So I feel like it's not necessarily that big of a deal for Sagittarius. But for Aries and Leo, it's a need to look at the bigger picture. Really look at the bigger picture. And like I said, Mars is opposing, or it's going to be opposing the sun in Libra. And so there's something about our ego, something about who we are on the outside and what we want. And there might be something, usually it's a little vain, but I feel like with justice, there might be something here, especially with the Ten of Cups on the line. It's like, instead of focusing so much on what you want, think about how it will impact the way that you appear in the world. Not necessarily in a vain way, but the sun is Leo energy. So if you're claiming any kind of royalty, king of this, queen of that, emperor, empress, it's like make sure that you are continuing to act in a way that people see you as one. Right? Mercury retrograde is also about, it could be a space of miscommunication or opening up communication that hasn't been there in a while. It's going to start in Scorpio, which is Mars ruled. And then it's going to come back into Libra. So it's going to be in this element that actually puts out, it's a water element, so it plays the opposition to fire. Not in the birth chart, but elementally. It opposes fire and then it's coming back into air. And so there's this energy of a sudden explosion. It's like if you put out a cigarette. I don't know why a cigarette. If you're smoking and you put out a cigarette and you leave it and you walk away, but then it catches fire again because you didn't put it all the way out. Right? And with air, it has the ability to really make that combust. And so I feel like that's why it's going to be important to, I don't know, consider how you show up in the world and how what you go after changes your view of you. More so than anyone else's view of you, it's how you want to be seen and how you want to be perceived. And that might save you in a situation where things are a little rocky. It could go either way. So that's what I got for fire signs. That's really interesting. Like I said, these are going to be kind of sort of vague. Next is Scorpio. Talk about Scorpio being Mars ruled. Now, luckily, Scorpio ain't one of my big ones, but I got everything except Virgo. But my Earth isn't Virgo, so hey. 30:30. Scorpio coming out with the 30:30. Let's see where y'all at, Scorpios. One of my best. Eight of Cups. Hey, that's your energy. That's the first decan of Scorpio, actually. So this is about walking away. Mercury is going to retrograde in your sign, Scorpio. So there are certain things that Scorpio left in the past for a good reason. Now, I don't know what this is going to be, but it might be looking real good. Ooh, the High Priestess. Ooh, you may be having a feeling that something like this. Okay, actually, so with Mercury retrograde, it almost feels like there's a part of you, maybe you walked away from a situation, and you walked away from a situation believing and knowing that it would come back to you, but you didn't know when it would come back. You didn't know who you would be when it came back. You didn't know who it would be or what it would be or how it would look when it comes back to you. And like I just told the fire signs, or maybe I think it was the fire signs. I don't remember. I know I'm talking a lot. It's like, or maybe I said Scorpio, like you left something in the past for a reason. And with the High Priestess, again, it's like you knew it would come back, but maybe you didn't know that it would come back at a time where you were already moved on from it. Or you didn't know it would come back at a time where it's a little bit more detrimental to you. Like maybe it served in the past. Maybe it's something that you used to want. And it's like, because his mind is calm, his mind is still, right? You don't see the ship rocking in huge waves on the surface. And so it's like, as you've pulled away from a certain thing, it's smoothed out the resistance to allow it to come back. But again, maybe you walked away for a reason. I would say trust your intuition on this one. Because something about this almost feels like it could do more harm than good if it ends the same way the second time. Because Scorpios don't really forget. Scorpios can hold on to stuff. They're fixed water. And they really hold on to the emotion of it. And when you hold on to the emotion of something, it's like it gets heavier and heavier over time. And it's like, it feels like right before you're completely free of it, it's going to come back or something. Maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, more generally, this is just like you knowing that there are things in your life that you have to walk away from because the High Priestess, and it's time for you to move. It's time for you to begin walking, Scorpio. It's time for you to use that transformation energy for good. Next is Queen of Swords. That is Libra. Happy birthday, Libras. Happy birthday, Libras. My cousin's birthday is tomorrow. She is like, she'll be 4 or 5. I can't remember. She literally just told me a few weeks ago. Well, my mom told me because she said she's turning like 2 or 3. She got one of them baby complexes where she's really smart, but like when she wants attention, she'll just revert back to baby mode. I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, 34:04. So let's get into this. Libras, let's see what y'all is on. The Wheel of Fortune. I love that energy. That's the energy I feel like Libra season is actually kind of sort of bringing everybody. Let's see what. Oh, and you're in the Seven of Wands. Okay, so the Seven of Wands is telling me that you're actually in a really good position. The Seven of Wands is a card of advantage. And in this deck in particular, it's a card of overcoming adversity. And it isn't the Six of Wands, so there isn't necessarily the recognition celebration, but you still have the upper hand. It's almost like you need to remember who you are and what makes you you and what you have to offer. Because you standing in the authenticity of you right now boldly and bravely is going to be what brings in more and more opportunity. It's Venusian energy, and it's time for the Wheel of Fortune to turn in her favor. Look at this star at the middle of the wheel. Isn't Venus the morning star? It's like you're sitting right at the middle. A little bit off center, honestly. But that's not the point. Well, maybe you should ground and center yourself a little bit. Maybe don't get like too arrogant or cocky, but to stand strong in who you are. Libran energy in its shadow sometimes can be a little bit martyry. It can try to maintain a certain balance even if it's not a great thing to be connected to. So with this Wheel of Fortune, there's also this, it's like it's time for you to cut yourself loose from a situation. Because like the Seven of Wands is a card of advantage, but it's like there's almost also this energy of like fights that you don't even have to fight because you already claimed victory at the 6. And you don't have to prove yourself to anybody. In fact, you might be attracting people into your experience, or you may have attracted people into your experience in the past who know that you have nothing to gain by interacting with them. You only have something to lose. And it's time for you to focus on you and what you're doing and your own goals and intentions and dreams. It's time for you to hold strong to your vision and just not completely disregard the visions and opinions of others, but it's like stay true to you and you'll get there. I love that, Libra. Good luck. Next is Page of Cups. Water. Let's see what's coming for the water sign. Sometimes the water sign energy be real interesting. 36:46. So, water signs, water signs. I don't know why I wanted to ask if y'all like wet or wet wet. I'm sorry. I don't know. Let's see what come out. Oh, okay. The Lovers. Oh, that's awkward. But yeah, I guess are y'all wet or are y'all wet wet? Water signs. The Lovers came out. And the Three of Cups came out. Okay, this is interesting. This is a card of celebration. I love this. This in particular to me, because of this deck, is giving me this energy of having differences with someone in the past, maybe some irreconcilable differences or an inability to see things from the perspective of someone else. And maybe there were heavy emotions on both sides, and so you were both emotionally tied to your viewpoint. But here is an opportunity to accept your differences and come together in a way that is made better because you're different. And with the Lovers here, it might be time for the water signs to... I feel like water signs are interesting because emotions are interesting. And sometimes we can listen to our heart. It's like sometimes... It's like a need to listen to your higher heart. Right. It almost feels like things could go one or two ways. Either things could go bad or things could go good. And maybe you're used to things going bad in your life. And so you make decisions, you live for the worst case scenario. I did that for a long time. And so you make decisions to minimize disappointment and stuff like that. But it's time for you to align to the vision of celebration and victory. And it's time for you to be truly fluid and mutable and make decisions from that higher space and not the lower one, right? Because in some ways, the counterpart to the Three of Cups is the Three of Swords. And it's time for you to make decisions from a Three of Cups space instead of that Three of Swords space. And to do that, instead of a different person per se, it's like you accepting the past and everything that happened in the past as it's something that happened in the past and it is not indicative of my future, and it is by no means something that determines how far it is that I go in this life. And because that is true, I don't have to make decisions as if it were not true. Okay? If that made sense. And it's like the quote that pops into my mind is like, be the change that you wish to see in the world. If you want something to happen, you must also show up in that way and make that decision. I think water signs, just like a lot of people, but it's like the time of being indecisive is over. And it seems like if you take a stand and if you step into the truth of who you are and act in alignment with that, emphasis on act, in alignment with that, you will not only gravitate towards you like-minded individuals or individuals who can get down with whatever it is that you're serving, the children, but also, I don't know, I lost it. But also like you'll find yourself in these spaces where, or you'll find yourself in a place where you realize that you don't have to be like everybody else in order to fit in. It's like the more you decide to be yourself, the more permission you give yourself to be yourself, and the more of yourself you become. And the more you become that, the more you get to where it is that you actually want to be, or where you actually fit in, or where it is that you actually are meant to go. So it's all about authenticity and making choices that are authentic to you and not giving in to fear. Water signs, there you go. Libra season, it's all about choices. Next, we got the Queen of Cups, Cancers. Cancers. Ooh, Pisces is the last one to come out. Then we close it off for the water signs. 41:30. So, Cancers, let's see where y'all's at. Oh, the World card. Love it. So, coming right off of the water signs, I feel like Cancer, this is especially a time for you to close out old cycles, old karmic patterns, and stuff like that, which I love. Cancer, y'all energy has been interesting, at least over here. But we did have, on the very first day of Cancer season, within the first like few hours of Cancer season, I believe, actually, we had that solar eclipse. And so it's almost like you're going to begin seeing the completion of things now. And you also have the Six of Wands, so I love it. Cancers, if y'all come across anybody who's like, oh, you think you better, you think you whatever, you think you this, you think you that, it's like, no, I don't think I am. I know I am. I'm just playing. But it feels like something that you've deserved. It feels like there's something trying to hold you in a space that is not for you anymore. And for a long time, you were trying to, like I was saying with the water signs, maybe, for a long time, you were trying to fit into this space that was not for you. And so it's like you're the hermit crab. And so when you get bigger, you need to find a bigger shell. And it's like you've been trying to live in the same shell for too long. Cancer, you rule the house, you rule the home, fourth house energy, also the moon. So the bonds of comfort and the desire to provide is really present. But just like that the hermit crab, sometimes you have to go off and find a home that's more suitable to where you are now and where it is that you want to go. It's almost like there's nothing tying you back or holding you in this space anymore. And it looks like you're going to begin showing yourself how far it is that you've actually come, to the point where you can be proud of you and not seeking validation from anybody else. Because that's where it matters the most, right? When we can see it within ourselves. Because then otherwise we'll be Leos running around here trying to get validation from everybody else. See me like this. See me. See me. I'm kidding. I love Leos. So, yeah. You're the moon. You should know within you. Next, speak of the devil, and the King of Wands will appear. Leos. Somebody said Leo. Excuse me. Oh, I didn't even timestamp, but y'all got the death card. So, hey, Leo ain't even supposed to be Leo no more. We're refining Leo energy. We're coming into higher vibrations of Leo energy, right? Six of Wands is also a Leo card. 44:22. Leos, let's get into this. I ain't gonna be here all day with y'all this time. So, ooh, the Nine of Swords and the Death card. Okay, Leo, your energy is also giving me Cancer. It's giving me Cancerian energy. It seems like you're more focused on the appearance of yourself, trying to keep yourself in a certain position, that you're not supposed to be in anymore. And the longer you stay in this space that you're supposed to be coming out of, with the death card here, you're supposed to be letting it go. It's going to keep you in this Nine of Swords state. Nothing is going to make sense. Everything is going to feel like it's out to get you. Not out to get you, but it's going to feel like the walls are closing in on you because, again, you're not supposed to be in this space. It's almost like there's nothing for you here. And it's like there are these dying plants, and you have this Leo energy there, and the Leo energy is trying to shine brighter and brighter and brighter. Oh, I love this. The Leo energy is trying to shine brighter and brighter and brighter, trying to bring these plants back to life. But if Leo energy would stop long enough to actually look at the plants around it, you would realize that it's not a lack of light. It is. It might be. But it's not a lack of light that's making these plants die. It's a lack of water. Light isn't enough to sustain Earth. We also need water, and we also need certain gases, right? And I think it's time for Leo to recognize that you can't be everything for everybody. And there is that really nurturing, loving side of Leo that does everything that it can for its pride, and not its ego, but, you know, its family. But with the death card, it's almost like if you would shine less, it's almost like you're trying to shine brighter and brighter and brighter, that not only are you kind of roasting the flowers a little bit, but you're also evaporating any water that's trying to come into the situation and bring them back to life. And so you may find that as you distance yourself a little bit, then they might come back to life, but that could be because of things happening below the earth that you don't even see, right? It could be something with the nutrients. Let's say that you are microwaving all of the water out of this, and so the air gets saturated with water vapor. And it's like the concentration of water is so high in the air that the plants can't really get as much of the other gases as they need, right? And then with the water cycle, let's say it rains, but if you evaporate all the water before the plants can soak any of it up, then it's going to keep them in this position. It's like our solar system, the universe itself is constantly expanding, and you can't necessarily keep everybody in exactly the same space your whole life. And if this is somebody to you, they need to realize that they can't do it to you either. And sometimes some planets will go cold, but people will readapt. It feels like there's like no peace in the situation. No peace, no emotion, because of the peace that's not here. So that's kind of heavy, Leos. I'd say surrender it and let it be whatever it's supposed to be. You can't drive yourself crazy trying to do something or provide something for somebody who isn't asking for it or who isn't ready to receive it. So, but look, there's Scorpio. And Mercury's going to retrograde in Scorpio. Scorpio is Mars ruled. And Mars is in Aries, and Leo trines Aries. So, again, it's like, because Scorpio is right next door. No, Scorpio squares Leo. Yeah, okay. So Scorpio squares Leo. So there's some opposition here with this death process. But if you take it back to Aries, then you won't have that same square with Scorpio. It'll be inconjuncted, which is still this interesting space between a trine and an opposition, so it can go either way. But from that trine space, you'll be able to handle the energy of Scorpio a little bit differently because you have that space and that clarity. Sometimes you're too close to a situation to see it fully. And I already spent more time with Leo than I said I would, but like I said, I do like Leos. I thought for a long time I didn't, but it was like last year I realized, and I met a bunch of Leos in 2016, 2017. But also I realized how much I actually love Leo. So hey, you know, just because Pisces is the moon card in tarot don't mean I gotta hate on the sun. So, who's next? Who's next? Ooh, speaking of Pisces, Knight of Cups. Pisces is up. All right, fish. Let's see what's up with y'all. Let's see what's up with me. Let's see. Let's see. Pisces closing out the water signs. So, water is the first completed element. Let's go, water. Team water. A 50:05. Pisces, let's get into this. Let's see where y'all at. If I had to guess, I'm feeling something earthy. I hope it ain't the devil because I'm so over it. We're going to start over here. Oh, the Six of Swords. I love this for Pisces. Well, let's see. Because if it's the devil now. Oh, girl. And so we getting a shuffle. I forgot to check these before I went live. So the card that came out was the Knight of Swords. So you might be dealing with a Gemini. Maybe you need to smooth things out with the Gemini. Maybe you need to move away from a Gemini. But this is also Gemini energy. Six of Swords is Gemini energy. The Knight of Swords came out. Maybe you need to speak your truth to bring clarity and peace to a situation. You need to resolve something. Because when you resolve it, it'll bring peace to your mind and your mental, emotional state. So, the Chariot. Exactly. 2 cards of movement. As soon as you resolve it, it's going to free you up to actually move forward in the direction that you want to go in with a lot less baggage. Who had the 8 of Cups? Was it Scorpio? I think it was Scorpio. So Scorpio got a card of movement. Pisces also gets a card of movement. Also, Pisces, you're getting the Cancer card, which is the Chariot. And the Chariot is all about cardinal energy. Aries, Libra, Capricorn, and Cancer. It's putting all of those. It's interesting because it's like, because they form a square, right? But it's like you have to like force them down, and then it's like when you do that, something will pop up, and it's not supposed to be phallic, okay? Because otherwise, they're all going to be. There's something about needing to align yourself, and it's going to come through mentally. There may be conversations, 6 of Swords, Swords communication, Swords communication, thoughts, actions, speech. You may have to communicate something, resolve a certain situation to bring enough peace to yourself that you can muster up all of who you are to actually achieve a dream, to make a dream a reality. And it feels like it's gonna require a lot out of Pisces. The Pisces in my chart got huge procrastinator energy. Some of the Pisces I know also got huge procrastinator energy. It's almost like sometimes we'd rather be daydreaming and in fantasy la la land. And then when you're in la la land, it's easy to lose track of time. Also, this is about resolving your light and your shadow. And so it's not to necessarily argue with anybody, but there is a need to bring balance and peace to yourself so that you can move forward unburdened. There's this very like 10 of Wands, but in reverse type of energy. And not 10 of Wands reverse, like we're not letting the burdens go. 10 of Wands in reverse, like we already let it go and now we're free. There's this hot air balloon energy that came in like 2 of these ago. Was it Pisces or the water signs? I think it was Pisces. It was like Pisces got the 7 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. And I was like, you've been fighting to get the advantage in this situation. And this air balloon is coming, this Wheel of Fortune is coming to turn in your favor. But if you have too much baggage, you're going to be too heavy for it. So this is about releasing yourself so you can really enter this space that's for you. So that's what I got for Pisces, and we're going to keep it moving. Next card out is Page of Swords, air signs. Here comes the thoughts. Here comes a thought. That's a song, Steven Universe. That might alarm you. What someone said or how it harmed you. Things that you did that failed to be charming. All of these thoughts are suddenly swarming, and you're losing sight, you're losing touch because all of the little things seem to matter so much that they confuse you and that you might lose you. So it's this very 9 of Swords type of feeling coming out for air energy that is, it's like they say, don't sweat the petty things or don't sweat the small stuff. It feels very anxious. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, well, the Tower. So, hey. Here comes a thought that might alarm you. Tower, tower, tower. With the Five of Cups. Ooh. And what's interesting is in this deck, the Five of Cups is actually illustrated by the same person who did the Knight of Cups. And you can really tell in these cards. So air signs might be dealing with a Pisces, might just be dealing with Piscean energy. That could be the space of dreams. Air signs, y'all may be finding out that there was something that you were going for. Maybe it looked like it was the dream up front, but you're going to be losing it. What y'all may not. Hold up, I ain't even timestamped this yet. 1 second, sorry. 55:00. I'm going to just set that back like 20 seconds. Sorry, air signs. But basically, I was saying that it feels like y'all minds might be racing, or you may be starting to get these thoughts that come in and kind of shake a lot of stuff up if you hyper focus on them. Maybe there was something that you were working towards, something, because Piscean energy it's with the Five of Cups, even though this is actually Scorpio. So you got Scorpio and Pisces, which can be a deadly combination, because Scorpio and Pisces can be an energy that you can't escape from. And then it haunts you in your dreams, and it plagues your every waking thought. And it's something that, just like Pisces, you need to bring peace to. I shouldn't be surprised if resolutions come up for Libra season, because it is the energy of justice. But again, it feels like maybe there was something that you thought was going really well, and you may feel like the rug is swept from under your feet, and all of a sudden you're on your butt when you were just planted so firmly on the ground. It does feel like, though, it's actually going to open up another opportunity for you that you may not. There's a very Four of Cupsy type energy, but for some reason, I'm seeing like a boat coming, like a ship out here back in the water that is coming for you, or it's like asking you if you need help, but you're not responding to it. And it's like, it feels like the energy of a double tower, because there's going to be the tower where things fall apart, but there's also going to be a tower where things come back together. And things might actually come back together in a way that works better than what just fell apart that you were so invested in. But it's almost like it's something that it's almost like if it almost feels like you're so fixated on whatever is in front of you right now that you don't even realize that there's better for you, something more suited to you. And it's almost like one thing had to fall apart to even make you open to taking whatever else is coming in. So that's like, it's this double tower of losing something that you thought would last forever, but then also gaining something that you never thought would be yours. Maybe. I mean, I feel like that's a lot to just relegate to Libra season. So maybe one of those towers will come in. Maybe you had a tower in the past and you're going to be having a good tower coming in now. Maybe you're going to have a little bit of a rougher tower coming in now, but it's actually going to be a blessing in disguise because of what it makes you available for or open to. But you have to be open to it. And I feel like it's a lot. I feel like that's asking for a lot from Gemini, because it seems like you are really upset. But it really just does feel like something better is coming in for you. And it isn't even necessarily like the old thing was bad, but it's just like sometimes we don't fully accept when... It's like sometimes we don't fully accept the distance. And again, it's not that it's bad, it's just like, it just feels like there's something better for you. And maybe after you explore the better, you can resolve whatever happened over here and mend it later. But it's almost like you need this space right now to actually come into what it is that's for you. Maybe air signs, I don't know, that's a lot. Now we're coming into Virgo. Where my Virgos at? Make some noise. I ain't asked nobody else to make noise, but I'll ask Virgos, because y'all, Virgos have a special place in my heart. They're like, all of my best friends are Virgos, and it just happens like that. It just works like that. I don't make the rules. I just live my life. Oh, snap, Virgo. Libra season, Two of Cups. I'm coming into something amazing with Temperance. Okay. Let me timestamp before I get too excited for Virgo. 1 second, y'all. Hold it. 1:00:11. I'm giving y'all. Oh snap! Oh snap, girl! No way. Huh? Somebody just followed me on Instagram. No, he's not a Virgo. He's a Taurus, and it's funny because I was literally just talking about this dude. So, that's interesting. Oh my gosh, what did I just say about this Mercury pre-retrograde shadow and things from the past that we wanted at one point? A lot. It's fine. Virgo, this is about you. So, we got Temperance and the Two of Cups here. Temperance is interesting because it speaks of alchemy, permutation. Permutation? Why permutation? Alchemy, transmutation, and healing. Permutations are different ways to rearrange and organize the same things. And I'm looking at this, and this is weird AF. It's magic AF because liquid don't do that. Like look at what this liquid is doing as he pour from, or they pour from one cup to the other. Where liquid do all that at? Are Virgos tapping into y'all coming into some kind of ability or something? I've just heard emotional manipulation though, because it's manipulating the water. And that, okay. So if there is someone who was emotionally manipulative in the past, then there's a chance that they're not that way anymore. I don't like this. That just shifted everything. And I want to pull another deck to clarify this, but I don't know what deck I want to pull. Oh, see, I'll pull the Kawaiis. Oh, wait, no, can't pull those. I'll pull the Kawaiis, even though it's a lot of work, but I care about my Virgos. Virgos, y'all's my best friends. I've had a Virgo best friend since there was one that I met in kindergarten or first grade, another one that I met in the third grade, one that I met in 8th grade, but we became really good friends in high school. And so it's all my life I've had a Virgo best friend, honestly. So if I gotta exert a little bit of extra effort to pull these cards out and combine the decks together, then I'll do it for you, Virgo. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about this that is very weird. And it's almost it almost feels like you may be getting something that you've waited a long time for. And I don't know if it's real. I've never felt the Two of Cups energy as a fantasy or an illusion, but usually in a Temperance card, it's liquid flowing right from one cup into the other. But the liquid in this card is doing something weird. It's it's manipulating the water. Water is the element of emotions. It feels like emotional manipulation. I would also check and see where you have Leo in your chart, because it's a Leo energy because it's something about appearances. Maybe Leo and Cancer. Or the sun and the moon. I don't know. It's below the surface, all of this stuff is happening, but on the surface, it looks happy. This is so weird. I was so happy, Virgo. Can I clarify this, please? Can I get like 2 or 3 cards or whatever? Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit, which is your energy. So I'll take that as a minor confirmation that this might hit for some Virgo out there. This is so weird and feels kind of icky. But I was so happy. I was just so happy. And then Temperance came in. I was like, oh my gosh, this feels like something that you've been waiting so long for. But then emotional manipulation. I'm like, wait, what? Oh, okay. I said I'm not going to go too deep. So the cards that came out, we have the Four of Wands and the Five of Pentacles, which is usually good. But the Four of Wands was on top, and the Five of Pentacles was underneath. And then we have the energy of appearances over here. I would say take this as it resonates for you, Virgo. Always trust. I would say practice discernment right now. Because in this situation, it would be someone who knows how you feel about them. And like they would know that you want this Four of Wands celebration type of energy with them. But in this Four of Wands, not only are they not lined up in that traditional 11-11, but they're also suckers. And I don't want none of my Virgos out there to get suckered into something that's not great. That is just someone coming back, utilizing the emotions that you have for them, but not giving you anything substantial in return. And with the Hermit card at the bottom of the deck, it's almost like you're better off in your own energy. Or whatever you've discovered within yourself will be the light to illuminate the truth of the situation. And if it makes sense, I'd say go with it. If something about your authenticity and your truth, like if that's a light that this person can't look into, because you can't manipulate fire like that. You can manipulate the water, but you can't manipulate the fire inside the lantern. It's almost like the lantern outside is protecting the fire inside. The Ace of Wands is behind this Hermit, so again, it's something that like it feels like you really, really want. But it also feels like something on the other side that knows how badly you want it. And if you get like a grimy, sort of questionable energy from somebody, or like if it's really good, but you notice that the issues aren't actually resolved, or they still, like if nothing has changed, then maybe it needs more time. I don't know. That was weird, Virgo. That was real weird. I was so happy. And then it just got super weird. I wanna do a whole thing for Virgo now, but I'm not gonna do it. I will. I said I wasn't gonna go too deep into anything, so because ultimately with Libra season, it's about what we've already done within ourselves, and using that. It's like we sit on one side of the scale, everything else sits on the other side of the scale, and it doesn't matter how much you want it or how much you think that it'll make you happy. If it sits on the other side of the scale and it doesn't add up, maybe give it a chance to see, but also stick true to the growth and the healing and the boundaries that you've established in the in-between time. And this doesn't have to be somebody from the past. It could also be you needing to, this could also be like self manipulation, where it's like you're minimizing things within yourself. You're trying to make yourself okay with things that you're not really okay with to maintain this. And it's like on the outside, it looks like this Four of Wands, but on the inside, you're actually feeling Five of Pentacles. I don't know, Virgo, that's weird. That's real weird, but I'm wishing y'all all the best. Just stick true to everything that you've discovered while you've been in this hermit mode, learning, growing. Stay true to yourself. If someone or something can't handle your authenticity, then it's not for you. because that light within the lantern is protected. And the only thing that can dim that light is us if we choose to blow it out for something or somebody else. It's like this White Walker, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, cold vampiric energy where it's like you're too warm for them to hold. And so they force you to like turn the gas down on your lantern, and it's like it's almost all the way off and they're almost like hugging you, what you want, and they're like, oh, it's still a little too warm, it's still a little too hot, but if you turn the lantern down anymore you'll completely lose your flame. Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, Scorpio and Virgo sextile, Mercury retrograde in sextile back into Libra. If that's an opportunity or a window for something from the past that might have been a dream, but it feels like it's either something that you have to manipulate yourself to believe, or someone else has to manipulate you. I don't know, it's weird, but maybe I'm wrong, and it'll actually be a happy ending coming for something that you've been waiting a long time for, Virgo. Take it as it resonates. And again, like, use yourself and the truth of who you are and how you actually feel to guide you in the situation. Because your internal truth should not be so easily manipulated unless you're doing it to yourself. So, again, that was a little weird, but let's move on to the Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn. I think that's Earth signs being the second one closed out. Oh, it feels a little, I don't know, I don't like that. Not my Virgo best friends. Okay, yeah. Yeah, oh, okay. I do want to clarify one more thing, because I want to see who is holding this Two of Cups. Is this Virgo holding the Two of Cups, or is this somebody else trying to hold the Two of Cups with a Virgo, and they got some space and healing for a good reason, but they don't want to let go? So show me Virgo. Did anything? I don't think anything slid over. No. Show me Virgo, please. And show me, Hierophant. Now show me the other person, the job, the situation, the environment. Show me the environment. Ooh! The moon. Could be a Pisces. But the moon card is something, it's something shrouded. It's not complete. And the Three of Pentacles. So the other person is sitting at the moon and the Three of Pentacles. So it's like, it feels like they want to build with you, they want to work with you, but something about their intentions aren't all the way seen or known. It is a little bit of ulterior motives, but typically the Three of Pentacles is a card of like equal partnership, but honestly, it's one of the few partnership cards at all. So I can't say that like, oh, it's a card of good partnership and then this is a card of bad partnership. I mean, emotional manipulation came out with that funky water. And then you're sitting at the Ace of Wands and the Hierophant. You want something, it's like there is this initial excitement with the Ace of Wands, but you also want it to last. You want to fill the pages of your story. This other energy over here is coming to be a character, but they have hidden motives, or something isn't all the way present. You have a Taurian energy on one side and then a Piscean energy on the other. This is your senses. Taurus is the senses. Pisces is illusion and fantasy and dreams. And with the Three of Pentacles and the moon, it's playing off of your fantasies. It's playing off of your dreams and it's playing off of your emotions. And again, the way you'll be able to test it to see if it's worth your time, Virgo, is if it puts in the time with the Hierophant. If it can sustain that fire, right? Bottom of the deck is the Six of Wands. And I feel like with the Six of Wands replacing that Hermit card. If you keep your internal fire lit, you'll know. 5 of Cups now. What's in reverse? Yeah, 5 of Cups in reverse. I have reversals. Oh, well. Bottom 3 cards. No, that's upright. 5 of Cups, Death, and the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. With the Knight of Cups in reverse. So, as long as you stay true to your inner fire, I think you'll be able to navigate the situation in a way that works for you. Because if it's not right, something within you will be like, okay, this is what I wanted, but something here isn't right. Something's not adding up. So, sorry about that. Now I'll timestamp Capricorn. I feel like Virgo needed that. Or at least whatever I was picking up on. 1:15:20. Let's go, Cappies! Capricorn. Hey, Capricorn, y'all are low-key one of my favorite signs. I just feel really intimidated by Capricorns. Because I ain't trying to work hard all the time. Like, I don't mind working hard, but I want to play sometime too. You know how to play Capricorn? Oof. Well, Capricorn is coming out with Judgment, so Capricorn's like, yeah, I don't think you're a fit for me either. Wow, Capricorn, tell me how it TI is. And the 5 of Swords. Capricorn, this is a very interesting energy. It feels like Capricorn has been taking the brunt of Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde, and Pluto retrograde, all started in the later degrees of your sign. Like, actually, Saturn was all the way out of Capricorn, and then it retrograded back into Capricorn. So maybe you were really, really, really close to completing something, but you lost out on it. Since we're talking about Libra season and Judgment came out, and we also have the 5 of Swords, maybe you found out that there were some people who you thought were in your corner that were actually working against you. And it's almost like you can see the truth of these people just by how you pick yourself up and how they respond to you. I saw something on Twitter maybe a week or two ago. It was like, I saw this girl with her friend, and she was telling her friend about this new job she had, or that she was moving, and her friend was like, oh, well, like, she was moving. She was like, she told her friend that she was moving, and her friend was like, oh, like, is that a good neighborhood? Oh, I wouldn't live there because of this. And, like, the school system is whack. And then she was like, we need to learn to recognize a hater when we see one. And then I've also recently seen something of someone basically saying the exact same thing. It's like, you take something to your friends and you're really excited, but all they have to do is offer you, like, all they have to offer you is negativity. And it's like, why can't you celebrate? I feel like you're going to start seeing the people who actually celebrate you and those who don't. And after Capricorn comes into the space of being able to evaluate it, it's like, whoever was lurking in the shadows, they's going to hear about it. And they's might be mad because of the glow up that Capricorn is about to get. I don't think I've ever said glow up in my life. When everything goes direct and things start to work in your favor. And it seems like knowing who is really there to support you and being able to spot a true friend or someone who truly has your back is one of the many lessons that you've gained. But it's almost like it brought out a fire in Capricorn that Capricorn didn't even know maybe that y'all had. And Judgment in this deck in particular, like, they're still alive, they're fully clothed, like, there's no death and resurrection. It's like a restart before the end. Excuse me. So I actually love this energy for Capricorn. And it also feels like maybe there were a lot of people in your life. Okay, well, take this with a grain of salt because a lot of people are going through a lot of things right now. But some people are not going through as much, honestly. But it does kind of sort of feel like this energy of, like, when you were on top of the world, everyone was like a fan, everyone was a friend, and everyone was asking for help. But when you started to experience setbacks, all of a sudden, like, nobody's there to help Capricorn. When Capricorn puts so much into building everyone else. I feel like lately I've been really not tapping into, but tuning more into the loving side of Saturn and Capricornian energy. Even though I just talked about, you know, how it can be a little much to kind of sort of stack up to. But it's like, if the energy of Capricorn is spending time, energy, or effort on you or with you, it's like, it's because it cares. And I feel like there is this similarity with Virgo, maybe, where it can be a little, not necessarily nitpicky, but maybe a little harsh or critical, but it does it because it cares. And it does honestly kind of sort of feel like Capricorn had to pick themselves up, but in the picking up of yourself, there's something that you're gonna be learning, and maybe in this season you'll start to see who really has your back and who doesn't have your back, so that by the time we come into Scorpio season, you'll be able to handle that transformation. Sagittarius, you'll be able to build upon the vision of where you want to go in your future because of everything that you're realizing right now. So by the time your birthday season comes, you'll be able to begin shifting in the direction, or really begin building in that direction. And it's not to say that you can't start sooner, but it's like, it feels like with Judgment and the Five of Swords, like you're still actively in the process of, I don't know, it's partly coming into your own power, partly coming into your own voice, and partly just not giving so much to people who you can now see don't really have it to give back. So it feels like things may have been a little rough for Capricorn here. In like a few days, Saturn is going to go direct. And then a few days after that, Pluto is going to go direct. So by October 4th, Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto will all be direct. December 17th, I think, that's when Jupiter and Saturn will both be in Aquarius, and then they're going to conjunct in Aquarius at the 0th degree, which is interesting because we had a Sun-Moon conjunction at the 0th degree in Cancer, solar eclipse. And then there's going to be another solar eclipse in December, right before Jupiter and Saturn go into Aquarius. So I really feel like by the time December comes, you're going to have a plan. Really, it feels like you're already in the process of like relearning some things and getting reaccustomed and reacquainted with things, so that by the time your birth season comes, then like you'll be familiar enough with it to like scale things back up. So that's what I got for you, Capricorn. It seems like things have been a little rough for the earth signs, a little bit, and maybe the air signs too. I don't know, but y'all got this, Capricorn. And don't be afraid to, if there is someone that you have in your life that you can be vulnerable and emotional with, don't be afraid to utilize them. Especially if they have the space right now, because I know a lot of stuff is going on, and so not all of us are able to show up to the fullness of how we would like to for everyone else. But it feels like there are a select few real ones among the bunch who actually have your back. And it's almost just like with Virgo. It's like, now I'm not telling anybody to be a butthole or a jerk, but it's like if someone can't handle you being your true authentic self, I feel like this year has taught us that maybe those aren't people worth kind of sort of hanging around. Because when things get hairy and tough, there are some people who soothe and ease and comfort more than they irritate, frustrate, and all kinds of stuff. And then you're stuck with them. So anyway, let's keep this moving. So next we have Queen of Wands, Aries. From Capricorn to Aries. That's that Saturn-Mars little duo. We still ain't seen Sagittarius. So, oops. 1:23:58. Aries, let's get right into this. One of my best friends is an Aries. I love her. Ooh, Aries sitting at the Magician. Magician is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Libra, opposing Mars and Aries. Now, what that says to me is, coming out with the Magician energy, it's time for Aries to think outside the box. And it's almost like it's time for Aries to get a little bit more strategic. If I had to pin Aries as a character in a fantasy show, MMORPG, or game, it's like Aries would be the tank who just charges in head first because you're beefy enough to take it. But for whatever reason, whatever you're facing right now, for however you show up in the situation, maybe you're already low on health, or the specific type of enemy you're coming across, it's like you have to handle it differently. You need to think, I don't want to say think like a Gemini, but it's what came to my mind. You need to think like a Gemini. You need to be able to look at a situation from multiple vantage points and perspectives to see what your best entryway and mode of attack actually is. Because if you handle what, and I haven't pulled the minor yet, but if you utilize everything that you've been learning, that you've been growing into, and all of the tools in your tool belt, it's like you can do a lot more with a lot less effort. And maybe like you don't want to exert so much energy in approaching the situation because the fight might last a little bit longer than you expect. And you don't want to burn out midway through. And it's not necessarily a fight, but it's like things come in waves, and you don't want to give your all in the first wave, especially if you can be able to like predict it a little bit with that Gemini mind, and also that little bit of not a little bit, but with that intuition that you have. Because it's almost like you've been prepared for this in a few ways for a reason. And if you stop long enough, it's like you'll see how to maximize your effort in a situation. I don't know, it's weird, Aries. And we're coming out with the Two of Wands. And I love the Two of Wands because it's like there are two ways or more to accomplish the exact same thing. And it's like there's the way that you usually go about it, but there's another way that you can go about it that's a little bit more thought out. And it's like it's really time for Aries to work a little bit smarter here, and maybe not necessarily as hard. Also, I don't know, Aries, if you have your own business, or if you're in a certain line of business that is very connection heavy, maybe you're going to be getting a promotion. Maybe you've recently gotten a promotion. Maybe you're going to be getting a project, and you're going to have to delegate something. It's almost like Aries is going to have to delegate something. And I feel like I felt something like this for somebody a long time ago. I don't remember who. But it's like you needing to find people that you can trust with your vision, because when you expand, you can't necessarily handle everything yourself. And so there's this energy of delegating tasks to people that you can trust, or communicating the vision so where you can really paint the picture of what you want in the mind of someone else, and then trusting them with it. Because if you try to have your finger in everything, you're going to be spreading yourself too thin. And this is a step up. It honestly feels like Aries is going to be coming into some expansion here, which is gorgeous, but I feel like there's also a risk of you kind of sort of burning out or stretching yourself a little bit thin. A little bit too thin. So that's what I got for you, Aries. Congratulations, if congratulations are in order. You know, I'll just pull cards. If they resonate, they resonate. If they don't, they don't. Next, we're coming to Aquarius. I also love Aquariuses. I love every sign, even Libra. I do. I feel like there's some signs that I'm a little bit tougher on, like Libra and Sagittarius specifically, but there are things that I really, really appreciate and value about both Libra and Sagittarius. And I feel like I need those energies to really balance me and to keep me from like diving all the way full into the Piscean fantasy waters. And I feel like sometimes with some of the Libras and Sagittariuses I know, they break my like little fantasy bubble, and then I get upset. But they're not wrong. They're not wrong. 1:29:29. Aquarius. Let's see what's up. Y'all want to start with the major or the minor? I feel like some Aquarius to set major, but I'm going to start with the minor. Ooh, Two of Swords, which is Libra energy. We're actually in the first decan of Libra right now. So this could be something a little bit more present for you. What's this stalemate indecision about? Strength. Okay. This is interesting. Strength is Leo energy, so it directly opposes Aquarius. It feels like Aquarius is being asked to step up in some type of way, to be a little bit more present, to be a little bit closer to the limelight. And I feel like Aquarius is prepared for this, but if Aquarius accepts this, they may not necessarily be able to get the distance that they need. Or maybe this is a fear. It's like, if I commit to this, if I get more involved in this, then it almost feels like you sacrificing or feeling like you're sacrificing some freedom, or just the ability to walk away if you don't want to do it. And that results in this stalemate because it feels like there is a large part of you that wants to do it, but there's also a large part of you that doesn't. I don't want to say like you're afraid of commitment, but maybe it's just like something about this specifically that you don't want to commit to just yet. And Aquarius, if that resonates, I would say do the thing that's harder for you to do, because strength came out. And so if strength came out, you probably need strength, right? And I'm not saying do the thing that's negative. I'm not saying do the thing that's toxic. I'm saying have the strength to do the thing that will stretch you and grow you in the way that you've probably been asking for, that more aligns to who you want to become, or who you are becoming, or who you are now, right? Maybe you'll be faced with a situation that's going to shock you a little bit, and it's almost like you'll revert to a previous version of yourself. Maybe it is an opportunity to expand or grow in some way, or a promotion or something like that. And you're so shocked by the opportunity that you start to have a lot of these worries or concerns. But if you think of who you are right now, then it's like, oh, this is something that I can totally do. Maybe last year, maybe a few months ago, maybe a few years ago, this would have been overwhelming. But this is something that I can totally do right now. I see the Orca back here. I love the Strength card because it's so watery. I love it because it's so watery. And with the Orca, orcas are actually sharks. They're not dolphins. No, orcas are dolphins. They're not whales, right? Orcas are dolphins. I'm pretty sure orcas are dolphins, or they're in the dolphin family. Hey Siri, are orcas dolphins?
I'm on it. Here's what I found from wikipedia.org. The killer whale, or orca, or Orca, is a toothed whale belonging to the oceanic dolphin family, of which it is the largest member.
Yeah, so it's in the family of dolphins. Dolphins are playful. So maybe also Aquarius, it's time for you to like soften up a little bit. Maybe Aquarius is maybe y'all have this like a certain aloofness or like detachedness to you that people feel like they can't really read. And so it's like with the killer whale, it's like you're actually just like okay, not just, because killer whales are called killer whales for a reason, right? But there is also like this playful side of you, right? And maybe that's another reason why I love how watery this Strength card is instead of it being fiery. And what's also interesting is we still have a lion here. It looks like the woman is on top of the lion. I don't know if it looks like a lion fish. I think those are some scales. But I got the head of a lion. Like, is this SpongeBob? And then there's the killer whale in the back. So it's like your strength is your vehicle, but your playfulness is the thing that people don't see about you. And maybe that's another part of this like Two of Swords conundrum that you're going through. Maybe it's like you are wanting to not be so serious, or you are wanting to open up a little bit in a certain type of situation, but at the same time you're opening up, you also don't want to be perceived as someone who is easily taken advantage of. I don't know if that's something that you dealt with in the past, but I'd say do and be both. You can be playful, and then if someone is pushing on a boundary or approaching a boundary, you can firmly establish it. I don't know. I feel like there's a way to sort of resolve this within yourself also. So I don't know what that's about, Aquarius, but good luck. Be strong, operate in the strength, and don't be afraid to shine a little bit brighter, right? It's almost like Aquarius is like, I'm a star. I'm not trying to be a sun. Keep your distance. But don't be afraid to shine a little bit brighter. And also don't be afraid to shine from different spaces and in different places in the sky, right? Don't be afraid to show different aspects of who you are, right? That's something that I've been experiencing or trying to experience lately. So moving on to Gemini. Gemini. If you're a Gemini, hit me up. I'll probably like you. Just kidding. 1:36:10. So let's go, Gemini. Let's see what's up with y'all. So Gemini, y'all came out with Pisces. I went to pull the major card for Pisces, and I was like, Knight of Swords, Gemini, what are you doing here? And the Six of Swords was already over here. So yeah. What could that mean? Maybe Gemini has been in the space of fantasy a little bit. I think I was actually going to comment on that in Pisces, but I forgot. But so it's like Gemini's been operating in this very Piscean way. But the thing about Pisces is that it can be self-contradicting. And that's why it's 12th house, the house of undoing. That's why it can also be illusion, and it could lead to substance issues. Because the illusion doesn't match fantasy. But with Gemini energy, it's like the fish also mirror each other, but they mirror each other in a way where they kind of sort of don't make any real progress. But the way Gemini does it, because Gemini is backed by Mercury, which is the magician. So it's the Lovers and the Magician as opposed to the Moon and the Wheel of Fortune. So maybe there's something that you need to get clarity on, because just dancing around it is not working. Maybe Gemini, in some way, you're trying to be too accommodating for somebody else. But you need to establish some boundaries, or you need to respect some boundaries or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. We'll see. Well, we got the Hangman, Piscean energy. So everything I just said about Pisces. And the Seven of Swords, which is Aquarian energy. So that's interesting. This feels like a really defensive energy. And I can't remember which sign it was that I was saying something like, I know Virgo kind of got it, and I literally just lost the thought. So I don't know what I was going to say. Maybe it's not relevant. It's interesting because it's like with all of these swords that the Seven of Swords has, he could cut this Hangman free if he wanted to. But he's not. He's looking at the Hangman, sorry. He's looking at the Hangman just like, oh, I don't know, it felt a little sadistic. Or is it masochistic? Hold up. I don't know. I get the two mixed up. It feels like he's enjoying. Maybe not enjoying it in a malicious way. Maybe he's just curious. Curious about how someone else will get out of a situation. Because it's like if I were in a situation, because Gemini could be very cerebral, right? So Gemini is like, if I were in that situation, then I would do this and I would do that, and I just like cut myself loose with all these swords I have. But it's like, it's almost like you don't realize or understand that this hangman doesn't have any swords, so he can't just cut himself loose. But it's almost like in watching this hangman free himself without the use of the sword, it's going to teach you something. There's a real curiosity here. But I would say, like, don't be so overly focused on someone else or what someone else is doing to the point where you're not doing what you need to be doing for you. It's almost like, also, Gemini, don't get complacent. And maybe that's what this is. Maybe there are opportunities and growth that you're missing out on because you're complacent in a certain situation. And maybe it was air signs that got the 5 of Cups. Yeah, I think air signs. Air signs is what I was thinking about. And I think it came out right after Pisces. Because it was the 5 of Cups and another card, and it was the Tower. It was the 5 of Cups and the Tower. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was air signs. And it's like, if you're complacent in the situation, it's almost like I was saying, like the twins mirror each other, but they don't circle the drain like Piscean energy does. Because although they mirror each other, they're not tied together. And the fish and Pisces are often tied together. That's the line in between the two little squiggles. And so maybe you're not allowing yourself to be fully you because you're trying to stay in a situation, which also calls back to Cancerian energy, being that hermit crab that's grown too large for a certain shell, but for whatever reason they don't want to give it up. I think that was Cancer. I'm pretty sure it was Cancer. There's a lot of other energy popping in for Gemini, but also Gemini can take a lot of different forms. And it's like there's something that you have been learning in this space. There are lessons that you can take from you being in this space, but it does feel like it's time for you to move on, Gemini. And it's time for you to begin to want more for yourself, or it's time for you to begin to do more for yourself. Because it's almost like you're stifling your own potential, and there's so much greater for you out there, but you're too comfortable to really go after it. It's almost like Gemini not really being Gemini. Almost. Because it has a natural curiosity, and it's like maybe there is something about this hangman that makes Gemini really like curious, but I feel like Gemini is a little bit more like outside, right? It isn't necessarily Sagittarius, but it's not Cancer either. But I guess, there's not a lot that we can suppose, like we're not really supposed to be exploring too much outside, but if you're socially distanced, there are like plenty of forest and nature-y things that you can explore, the world in general. You can explore different facets of yourself. Maybe you can pick up a new hobby, or if there's something that you've been wanting to learn for a long time, maybe finally do it. It just feels like Gemini is really slowed down for some reason. And it's like the slower you get, almost feels like there's more and more something of yourself that you're losing. And like the Knight of Swords is supposed to be one of the fastest knights in the deck, but this horse ain't going nowhere. I don't know, Gemini, but I'm wishing y'all the best. It honestly just feels like y'all need a little bit of excitement in a good way. I mean, no judgment, but good excitement. Not I'm about to stir the pot and cause some trouble because I'm bored excitement, This card is really interesting because he's facing one way, but his feet are moving in the opposite direction, and the two swords that are left behind aren't crossed. See, he's like facing back, but he's moving forward. The two swords stuck behind aren't crossed. but the two swords in his hand are crossed. If you can see, the two swords in his hand are crossed, but the two swords on the ground are parallel. Two crossed swords is usually that stereotypical two of swords indecision. So it's like you're getting clear on where it is that you want to go. It's like your body is trying to pull you forward, but your head is looking back. And it almost feels like on some level it's a decision that you've already made. Maybe there's another, like, it could be anybody. But there's what is it? Dissociation, is that the word? I think it's dissociating. It's almost like you're dissociating a little bit, because it's like you've already made this decision, and in some ways you're moving towards it even when you don't necessarily see yourself doing it. I don't know, Gemini, this is weird. I would just say, if it's time if you need some stimulation, go out and get stimulated. And make sure that if you are seeking stimulation, to just be, if it involves anybody, just be upfront about it. Because it honestly does feel like you're kind of sort of keeping yourself in a space that isn't really stimulating you anymore. And it's like this person is looking in the same direction as the horse is. But just like the body is moving forward, the person on the horse is looking forward. Something is just not matching up here. I don't know, Gemini. Y'all got me confused. I ain't trying to go into the mind of Gemini right now. That's something that y'all need to sort out for yourselves. Be more you. Be less fish. I don't know. Okay, so last but not least, we have Knight of Wands, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Hey, it's 10:10 and my battery is fully charged. I usually show y'all the time, but not today. Oops. You know what? I'll do it for my Saggies, because you see that? It's 10:10. There you go, Sagittarius. Which means it'll be 11:11 on my laptop here in a minute, because my laptop is on Eastern time still. Don't ask me why. I'm just too lazy to change it, I guess. 1:47:27. So, Sagittarius. Looks like we're going to do this in less than 2 hours. Whoop, whoop. A round of applause to me for, I don't know. Is it 11:11? Oh, it is 11:11 Eastern. I can't show y'all that because it's on my laptop. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. Oh. Wow, I was just so excited, and then immediately, ooh. So, y'all have the Empress Sagittarius, but also the Ten of Swords. This is interesting energy. So, the Empress is a card of creativity. And I guess Sagittarius, y'all also get to see the bottom of the deck, because, oh, well. And then we have the Devil at the bottom of this pile. And it's 10:10. Capricorn is the 10th sign. That was double Capricorn. The Devil, and what's over here? The Ace of Wands. Okay. So, we have the Empress here, which is extremely fertile, creative, nurturing, kind, caring, compassionate, birthy, motherly energy. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So that immediately gives some heavy energy if we're talking about giving birth, and then the Ten of Swords comes. So if you're going through anything heavy related to birth, my condolences and strength be with you in love. This feels really hard for Sagittarius. It's like Virgo and Sagittarius. Well, Virgo wasn't necessarily hard. That was just interesting. It feels like Sagittarius is the hardest one. Because it really feels like there was something that you thought you could give your all to, but then it's like it ended abruptly, or you find something out. And it's like the way she's looking in this card, it is grotesque, but the way she's looking in this card, if you can see it, hold it this way. There you go. The way she's looking, it just like breaks my heart. But the Empress is right here. But if your heart isn't in whatever you're creating, it's like there's almost like, I don't want to say a fake Empress. Honestly, with the Ten of Swords and the pregnant Empress, it's bringing to mind, I think it was King Solomon, and the case of the one baby who belonged to two mothers. The two mothers who were fighting over the baby, and King Solomon was like, okay, cut the baby in half. You can have half of the baby, and the other woman can have the other half of the baby. And one woman said, okay. And the other woman said, like, no, I'd rather her just keep the baby. And that's how you know who the mother belongs to. Because even if the mother can't have her own child, she'd rather see it happy, healthy, and alive. But there's something about the heart not being in whatever was supposed to be coming. Ooh, this is really late to begin to eat me and hoodies. Oh, come on. Come on. This person's last name reminds me of the root chakra. So maybe your root chakra needs some work. Maybe. I think it's Muladhara or Muladhara. It might be Muladhara. I don't remember. It's the root chakra. And the root chakra is where our sense of innocence lives. And then we have the baby. But the head is disconnected from the body. It's a full moon with the halo of 10 swords, someone's internal demons, and then the devil is at the bottom of the deck, is tearing all of their organs out. It's almost like because you haven't faced within yourself the things that you've been needing to face, with the devil and the ace of wands, it's like distorted desires. And it leads you to go about the things that you want in less than divine ways. And since you're not giving whatever this is the love that it needs, it's like if your body doesn't feed the baby, it can't take care of itself. And also, like a baby you carry for 9 months typically. 3 trimesters, 3 periods, 3-3-month periods. And then you have the devil here. It's almost like the divine was asking, maybe you went asking the divine for something, or the divine was asking you for something. Instead of putting the love and care and attention and hard work into it, you took an easy way out because it got you closer to what you wanted faster. But in doing so, you realized like it didn't come in a sustainable way. It's malnourished, it's malnutrition because it required more from you than what you were willing to give to it. This is rough, but hey, it's Libra season. I guess not everyone is going to be balanced, or not everyone is going to be good, but it will be balanced. And it feels like the saddest part is that this Empress couldn't put any love into her baby because there was no love put into her, or something like that. But this was an opportunity for you to discover that. It's like the divine was giving you the opportunity to pour into whatever it is that you were creating, something that you didn't have. And it's almost this process that works itself, but it's almost like you were working against it because your mind and your heart weren't on the same page. Maybe you thought it was too much to heal, and so you tried to ignore it or whatever. And by ignoring your healing, it left you tied up in situations that you don't need to be in anymore. And then the Hermit card is behind this devil. So in a space of isolation. Maybe because there wasn't anything else that you knew. But again, it's like the divine was presenting you with opportunities to get what you didn't have for the baby, or whatever you're creating. Or it doesn't have to be a baby. Because honestly, like, this Empress could be you. It reminds me of the Empress card in the Vice Versa Tarot. Whenever I did all of that, and she came out, and I was like, she's supposed to be the Empress? Like, where is her abundance? Where is her fertile touch? Like, why is everything dead in this card? And it's not that it was dead. It just, like, it was like, if this is the energy of the Empress, like, it should be more abundant than this. But it's this mind-heart battle that wasn't resolved. And I think it was the heart. I think it's the heart that remained closed instead of being open, because her throat, her eyes, and her head are all intact. The throat, the third eye, and the crown are all intact, but separated from the body, which is the lower three. And the heart is the chakra that bridges the upper three and the lower three. But without that being open, again, you weren't putting into whatever it was that you needed to put into it. The key to the power and strength of Empress energy is an open heart. The power of a mother is her bond to her baby that comes through the space of the emotions, through the space of the heart. And there are some mothers out there that don't really care about their kids or their children, unfortunately. And so it isn't something that's necessarily inherent, even if it, quote unquote, should be. So, yeah. I don't know. That's really rough. But it seems like there were opportunities presented, so, like, we don't have to take them. Like I was saying all Virgo season, like, it's an opportunity to clean things up and tie up loose ends before we come into Libra season, where things are going to start being dished out, where justice is going to be had and made. I don't know. It's never too late to start or to try again, though. So, I don't know. Oof, I don't know. I'm glad that came last, because that would have made the rest really sour. So, I mean, it's still rough, but I mean, if that's the justice that's coming around, then that's the karma, that's the justice that's coming around, and I ain't, I'm not taking nobody nothing. So, we'll do an overall / final message now. 1:57:57. And I don't know how I'm going to do this. We'll see. Well, first I'm going to mix all these back together, because I don't think I'm going to keep this as a major minor. But I did want to use this deck again because it's a more human, experiential thing, with Libra being the gateway to the outside world. Maybe I should have did one that was a little more outside focused, but you know. Oof. Oh, actually, before I do that, we're going to give this thing another ring, because we definitely need to clear out some of that. Oh, look, the Knight of Wands is still here. Yeah, we get all that out of there. Okay. Ooh. That might have been a little bit excessive, but I feel better. Maybe that's why people ring dings in their videos. I'm glad I got that. I've been, like, eyeing singing bowls for literally years. Maybe since 2016. But I never got one. And I'm seeing more and more and more people with them. And I was like, hey, might as well. Why not? And my dad gave me some incense the other day, too. But That was interesting. I went outside my room. He was like, "Hey, you want some incense? I got like 3 different kinds." I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, thank you." Oh, that was quick. 6 of Swords. Hey, love that energy. So this is about sailing on a calmer water. So tell me what we're leaving behind. That's a whole bunch. We'll take it. Tell me what we're moving towards. Towards. Tell me what we're moving towards, please. Okay, I'll do one more. Ooh, that one on the floor. Bottom of the deck is the Fool. Whatever it is that we're leaving behind, we're leaving it behind. Just like I talked about it earlier today, Sodom and Gomorrah. When God said, y'all better get the crap out of here. Oh, the Emperor showed up. We didn't see the Emperor at all. God said, y'all better get the crap out of here because things going down and don't look back. Sarah looked back and she turned into a pillar of salt, but Lot kept it moving. So you can look back if you want to, Sarah. But Lot ain't gonna look back just because you look back. And that's interesting because in the garden, Eve ate the fruit and then Adam ate the fruit and earth happened. In the case of Sodom and Gomorrah, Sarah looked back, but Lot didn't look back. Now, one of the interesting differences is that Eve was never told that she couldn't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Adam was told that he couldn't. Things didn't happen until Adam ate the apple or the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But both Lot and Sarah, everybody was told, don't look back. And so that is an interesting difference, right? Because Eve was never told that she couldn't eat the fruit, which is interesting. So it's like feminine energy had the knowledge or had the ability to understand the difference between good and evil, maybe because they're the mothers and they give birth, but masculine energy wasn't. Maybe it's because masculine energy is more expressive instead of internal. I don't know. It was interesting. So the things that we're leaving behind. Number 1, the star. Old hopes, old dreams. I feel like the star is interesting for things that we're leaving behind because it seems that like what we're actually leaving behind is this energy of wishing for things but not doing anything to make them a reality. The things that we wished for in the past, I feel like there are some things that we wanted when we were not who we are today, that if we got them today, they may actually set us back. And that's why it's important to keep in mind, like what's actually getting us where we want to go. 5 of Pentacles, we're leaving out that feeling of, or we're leaving behind the feeling of being at odds with everybody. We're leaving behind the feeling of being out on our own in the cold all alone. Because we are the home that we return to. We're releasing the responsibility on other people to make us feel welcomed or at home. Because we need to make ourselves feel that, and when we come into the space of self-love and self-acceptance, we attract people into our experiences that will mirror that back to us, because they can also have that within themselves, because they also have that within themselves, and so they can mirror that back at us. Folks can't give us things that they don't got to give. Also leaving behind the Ace of Swords, which is interesting. Is that like all thoughts, no actions that we're leaving behind? This will clarify the Ace of Swords. The Two of Swords. Okay. So what we're leaving behind is this thought that if we want things to work out a certain way, we have to go about it a certain way. This is us leaving behind, it's almost like control. This is us surrendering what we think will happen to allow things to happen themselves. And we're also leaving behind indecisiveness because we're open to being guided. And sometimes we'll be guided in directions that we don't fully know. Next thing we're leaving behind, 7 of Swords. Glad to see it gone. Bye-bye. Also, this 7 of Swords is related to the 5 of Pentacles because this is someone protecting himself. So since we're leaving out this 5 of Pentacles always out in the cold type energy, we're also leaving out this sort of like steely invulnerability that keeps us from forming actual legitimate connections that benefit us, and not only benefit us, but carry us in the direction that we want to go, right? Because when we're in this Seven of Swords in particular energy, we're not open to partnerships that bring value into our lives and progress and abundance. Also leaving behind the old world. We closing those chapters, we ain't going back. It's gone. That older, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. Last but not least, we're leaving behind the Ten of Swords. Because again, we're coming into ourselves, we're being open and vulnerable, we're leaving behind what it is that we think we know, we're leaving behind our specific viewpoint, our singular viewpoint, that makes it nearly impossible for us to see from any other space. And like if we try to see from another space, instead of it building our own worldview or enriching our worldview, it's always this energy of combating and fighting. But iron sharpens iron. We can make each other better and not just fighting with each other. And I feel like it's almost attached to this world. All of this like head versus the heart, instead of being in a space of both, we're also leaving that behind. What we're coming into is the Emperor, which is our power. And the seat of our power is the heart and the many paths that it connects to. The heart on the tree of life connects to every emanation, except, well, maybe not everyone. It connects to most of them. Tiferet. And it's where they all find balance. The heart is important. Without the heart, we literally die. It's like one of the organs that we can't live without. There are quite a few, but it provides blood and oxygen to the whole body. Without the heart, nothing else does that. That's the seat of the power. We're coming into our hearts, and as we come into our hearts, we reclaim our power. And just like that Empress, if you're not in your heart, there's nothing that you have to give the world. Anything that you put out from a space of a closed heart is dead and lifeless. And Earth is too verdant and green for that. Also, we're going to be claiming... Oh, why is this one in reverse? How'd this come up in reverse? Freaking Leo. I'm just playing. The King of Wands and the Ace of Cups. I turned the Ace of Cups upright. I don't know why it was in reverse. Maybe I put it back in reverse. Maybe because I showed it this way and then I just put it back down instead of flipping it back. I don't know. I turned it upright. We turned an Ace of Cups upright now. And that's the space that we're acting from. That's the space that we're shining from. Ace of Cups upright. That Ace of Cups in reverse sunshine that we was getting before, that's the heart is open now and it needs to be present. It needs to be seen. It needs to be a part of everything that we do. Every decision that we make moving forward, the heart needs to be a part. That's what we've been lacking and missing this whole time. That's how the world ended up in the state that it's in. Oh, Libra energy. And it's almost like it's impossible to mete out justice on someone who doesn't have an open heart, because it doesn't do anything. And it's almost like the heart is being open so you can feel the severity of what's been going on, so you can decide to change from a you perspective and not being forced to change, because you can't force open hearts on people. Laws don't do that, as we've been able to see, and systems established on supremacy they're not built for the energy that we're coming into. So some of them will fall. Some of them will they'll be renovated, updated, Final card is, we got 2. Bottom of the deck is the Lovers with the 10 of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. Hey, and the title card. So that's where we stop it. Title card, blow your mind. The Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, and 10 of Cups. We're living in a space right now where our choices really do have the power to shift the entire course of our direction and leave us in the state of the 10 of Cups if we so choose. We have to choose it, and we have to act in alignment to get this wheel to turn. It ain't turning itself. South Node is in Sagittarius. It ain't happening by itself. You got to put in some work. You got to put in some effort. The cards that came out, we got 88, the 8 of Wands, and the 8 of Cups. I can't remember if these two came out earlier, but I do remember I had 2 8s together. 8 of Wands and the 8 of Cups, and it's like as fast as you walk away, that's gonna be as fast as it comes in. Because again, with the Lovers at the bottom specifically, it's all about the choices that you make, and you can't accept one thing if you're holding on to the other. It's gonna slow it down. I mean, 2020 double judgment all year long. It's time for us to not be still slowing ourselves down. And I am going to take a final message from the Kawaii Tarot because I pulled them out. Shout out to Virgos. That final message will be just for y'all if y'all watch this. Ain't nobody else get them cards, so don't nobody else get that message. Unless it resonates, then always feel free to take it. So, final message from my Virgos. For my favorites, please give me something good for the Virgos. I think I do have reversals in this deck, so I'll just keep up with the reversing. Ooh, there's the Emperor. Maybe in reverse. Final message. Oh, that was real quick. Oh, Queen of Wands upright. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands in reverse. I love that. Oh, and the 8 of Pentacles. Okay, 8 of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Like I said, Virgo, stick true to your authenticity and your true self. That will never misguide you. Don't allow anyone to deceive you, trick you, convince you that you putting out your own flame is something good. Because, I mean, with the Knight of Wands in reverse, it feels like it's just going to leave you prime target for them to come in and manipulate and use and work out their desires through you. And so you're doing more of what other people want you to do than what you're doing for yourself that you want you to do. And it's like, the time for Virgos to be in that self-sacrificing energy, honestly, it's over, Virgo. Y'all deserve so much more. So much more. With the 7 of Pentacles upright at the bottom of this half, so much more. But not only do you have to realize it, you also have to begin acting in alignment with that. And start attracting from the space of what you know you deserve, which is so much more. Then we got the Page of Pentacles upright right here. This might be a brand new cycle for you, Virgo. Virgo actually doing what Virgo wants Virgo to do. And you'll find that things will still work out for you. I know some of my Virgos might be like, oh, well, 6th house, 12th house, that's the house of servitude and of service. It's the house of service. And so, I don't want to be, uncaring or unkind or whatever. And it's like, you know what, Virgo? If folks don't care about you, it's like the time for giving your all to folks who don't care about you, it's over. Because there's so much abundance, I feel, coming in for Virgo energy. Because it's so deserved. And it's been missing for so long. More often than not, maybe because of choices that Virgo was making, maybe. But your heart, it's like you'll attract people who are actually capable of reciprocating all that you put out into the world. You just got an 8 of Pentacles, Queen of Wands. Keep building on and standing in the place of your authenticity, in the space of your power. And know that you're not a bad person because you don't allow people to take advantage of you. People are bad people for trying to take advantage of you. Maybe I shouldn't say bad people, but it's not great for people to try to take advantage of other people. And that's all I got. So if something in here resonated for you, you're welcome. If it didn't resonate for you, oh darn, you're not going to get that time back. Sorry. I hope y'all all have a lovely Libra season. The energy here is justice. What comes around goes around. But we knew that, right? Maybe when everything was so chaotic, maybe we had a lot of excuses to why we behaved the way that we behaved or why we did what we did. But at the end of the day, even if no one else is watching, you're watching. And Spirit is watching. And Spirit does more than just, it ain't like Spirit is judging you on how other people judge you. There are things that you can hide from people, but you can't hide from spirit. And when that wheel turns, when that justice comes, it comes accordingly, according to whatever you did or didn't do. So, hopefully y'all have been putting out good, because there's so much good queued up to be unleashed on the world. Some of the bigger stuff will take time, but it all starts here and it all starts now. Just keep working at it and we'll get there. All right, so I almost said I love you. Oh my gosh, ew. I'm sorry. I promise I'm a Pisces, y'all. I do honestly have a lot of love for people out there. I just don't like to show it sometimes. But I do have. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. Okay. Now we're going to go around this way. See how I recovered that? Well, hopefully that'll root in some of the higher frequencies after we just release some of the lower ones. I don't know. I think that it feels like clockwise releases and counterclockwise grounds. It's different for different people. Our energy channels flow in different directions. Some of us, I don't know. I always take it how it works for you. Just because it works one way for somebody else don't mean it necessarily worked the same way for you. And that's an energy that is really important that came out earlier today. What's for you and what works for you may not work for everybody else. Virgo season, Hermit energy, 2020. It's a time for us to discover what works for us as individuals and what doesn't work for us. And you can't follow anybody else to the heart of you. Right? Or maybe you can. I don't know. I shouldn't speak in such absolutes. I just feel like it'd probably be difficult to follow somebody else expecting to end up at yourself. Internally, there are things that we know. You just got to be open and willing to experience them and go through them with an open mind and an open heart, right? Even if it hurts, especially if it hurts.